From higher top, this mountaintop of the mountain.
Mount Manitoba.
Thank you. Of Mount Manitoba. We are looking at
Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you.
Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
So how did this happen? How did the Beach Boys in 1988 go number one 20 years after their
It was
Last number one.
all due to the power of Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Yes, very much like another number one that we covered, Bobby McFerrin. This was pretty much entirely because of that movie.
Yeah. And also, let's not forget about another song that Tom Cruise took to, higher up in the charts. Didn't quite make number one, but
Highway to the danger zone.
Lana.
Yeah, but this particular song though, there is a very, what you just said, both of you, Tom Cruise, there's a lot of us that were just looking at Tom Cruise and who just turned 60. Tom Cruise just turned 60, but at this point in time, as we're looking back in the late 80s, Tom Cruise could just do nothing and garbage and make people care. Do you remember Cocktail? It's stuff.
Yes.
Horrible movie.
Yes. But it made 2 number one hits.
Yeah, what was the second one?
I'm gonna go back and I'm actually
Just said it. Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
that was on that too?
Yes.
Don't worry.
You should go and re-listen to our podcast on Don't Worry, Be Happy.
No, I honestly don't remember that as something that was part of that film, but okay. This song feels like it was part of Cocktail. Okay, but all right. No, it does. I don't remember.
Because the only thing you remember of that movie is the little segment when he's down in the tropics. Nobody remembers anything else about that movie aside from him throwing around some cups and being at a beach bar.
Because we're asking how the hell did this go number one? We got to ask how the hell did the Beach Boys get back on the radar again? And I think we need to thank the Fat Boys for that.
All right, let's play. How?
Okay, just because the Fat Boys and the Beach Boys did Wipeout in 1987.
Wipeout.
I don't think that got anything above 50.
No,
I don't think it made it into the top 50.
It might not have, but it brought the Beach Boys back to the forefront of people's minds after having been, disappeared for the better part of 20 years.
So 50. They didn't disappear.
I don't know, man.
They didn't disappear. They just made a whole lot of shitty middle-aged white dude music that nobody listened to. They toured the carnival and casino scene for 20 years. So while Brian Wilson was lying in bed,
they still are, by the way.
Oh yeah, they still are. While Brian Wilson was having his drug and mental health breakdown.
Right now, I'm
which he still is.
Just like Brian Wilson.
We've already done that song, Brad.
that was in the before. That was in the before, Brian.
But yeah, so while he was, they had an artistic difference of opinion. Brian Wilson wanted to go more psychedelic. What's his name? Love. Mike Love.
Mike Love.
Mike Love wanted to stick with
just call him an asshole.
Yeah, asshole, I think he responds to.
I think that's his given name. Anyways, he took over control of the group and went the B-list route. and they just didn't really catch on with anything.
Okay,
if you don't have Brian Wilson
as
there,
much as I just called him that, right? Mike Love is an asshole, right? I think you and I, you,
I'm right on the same page with you.
Great. Mike Love was a douche. Saying that, Mike Love also helped the Beach Boys be what they are.
He was hugely responsible. Like, while Brian Wilson is the creative genius, Mike Love contributed massively to the writing of a lot of their songs. And also, his voice is just that characteristic Beach Boys voice, like the cadent harmonies.
But yeah.
So yeah, you got to give him credit as a musician. He's talented. But did you watch his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean,
yes.
Tell me a douche without saying the words, I'm a douche.
Especially because, like, I don't know if the two of you noticed, but yeah, hey, I happen to run a site called notinhalloffame.com.
You do what?
Not in halloffame.com. So yes. So his entrance towards the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was, how do I put this? The most obnoxious acceptance of anyone who showed up.
It was a car crash, and it wasn't even an entertaining car crash. Like, even watching him when the presenter was up there saying giving the introduction, he's got his hand on his back and he moves his hand to his neck, and you can see that his thumb and his index finger is on either side of this guy's neck as he's talking, and that's when he leans in and takes the mic.
Are you talking about Brian Wilson?
No, not Brian Wilson. Mike Love.
No, but Elton John presented them, and then Brian Wilson got up and talked, and then Carl Wilson basically just said thank you on behalf of Dennis, their brother.
Which is the same year that this song happened, which is relevant to our whole conversation.
Yeah, there was another bit where there was somebody up at the mic. Maybe it was their producer, then it maybe wasn't the presenter. It could have been their producer, because he did mention something about this guy's a powerhouse or whatever, and then step back from the mic and let the guy finish. But he was getting in there being all Trumpy, with the grabbing and the pushing and what have you.
Trumpy.
But regardless, it was an epic masterpiece of how not to behave in public.
Yeah, basically calling out the Beatles for having their own interrelationship issues, and
Jagger
and Diana Ross, yeah. And then Elton John at the end basically stuck his head back in and said, "Thank fuck he didn't mention me." But anyways, he's a douche flute, for sure. And
okay, so I think we can all agree that Mike Love is an asshole.
Yes.
Right.
And that's doing a big disservice to assholes.
Yes. But
speaking of assholes.
Yes, well done. Speaking of assholes, Mike Love is realistically somebody who should have a chip on his shoulder.
He did get the shitty end of the stick a couple of times over.
Yeah, because like when you're looking at the history of the Beach Boys, right? So like Brian Wilson, there is no I'm lying in bed like Mike Love did.
Yeah, I mean,
this is for you, Andrea. Come on.
Lying in bed.
Just like, but you can like look at some old videos of Mike Love, and so like, hey, I'm like a ladies' man. It's like, oh, god damn.
Oh, dude, I wear my shirts buttoned down a little low. He had his just about belly button on the Kokomo video. And speaking of which, holy crap, Uncle Jesty's playing the bongos.
Yeah, I did not realize that he was in there. What?
You don't remember that?
No, I did not realize that they were buddies with John Stamos.
Oh, please. I think you wanted a Kokomo that.
John Stamos? Sure, he's hot. I'm not gonna lie, John Stamos is probably the most attractive of any of them up there, because the others aren't.
Compared to Brad and I?
On stage with the
nobody
Beach
can
Boys.
compete with you two.
No, honestly, Kirk, nothing compares.
We've done that.
I know we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John Stamos is up there pretending to play the bongos.
Mike Love is pretending to play the saxophone.
No, Mike Love is playing the guitar.
I could have sworn he had a saxophone. Anyway, during the shooting of the video, nobody was playing the instruments anyway.
No.
Okay, so I think what we haven't talked about is the power of Tom Cruise.
There is a lot of power in that little man.
No, but seriously though, I mean, like as we're seeing this in 2022, in 1998. Holy shit. Tom Cruise, if you were okay, do you have either of you seen Cocktail?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. That movie sucks.
Oh, it's a steaming pile of garbage, but I'm going to rewatch it now because I've watched the video a couple of times and I got to watch it again.
Right, but
it's like watching Roadhouse, man. You know it sucks, but it's good.
Roadhouse doesn't suck.
Oh, Roadhouse is cheese.
Roadhouse does not suck.
Okay, hang on. Let me finish here.
Andrea.
Roadhouse is cheese. I mean, come on. He rips out a dude's windpipe.
Because it's Roadhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't get me wrong,
Roadhouse.
Man. It's Roadhouse. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie. I will watch it. If it comes on, I'm glued to it. I love it. It is cheese and it knows it's cheese. It's self-aware cheese, which Andrea has in the back of her cheese drawer.
Yeah, there's probably some that's been old enough that it's become.
But anyway, you know, you look back at Cocktail, it doesn't hold up to today. At its time,
it doesn't.
It was a great idea of the romance of this bartender and everything else, and it was pretty cool.
Right.
And it did spawn the whole thing that got popular with the show tenders. You know, it really made that take off. Now everybody's spinning a bottle and spilling all kinds of liquor.
Well, okay, Hippie Hippie Shake, which did not take.
No.
But Tom Cruise in 1988, 89, it didn't matter what he did.
No, it was all gold. It was all gold. He was walking in like King Midas.
Okay, it was like a Eddie Murphy Golden Child.
100%. Not a good movie, but it was Eddie Murphy.
Exactly. So like, no, like at that point in time, this song went #1 because of Tom Cruise.
Absolutely.
But
also, if we're going to talk about the power of Tom Cruise, we do need to mention Legend, of course.
We don't.
Because that was the power of Tom Cruise and the power of Tim Curry together in one space.
This has nothing to do with this. Why is he here?
You're the one who invited him to be a permanent fixture on this podcast.
Somebody left the door open. I just wandered in.
Yeah.
No, Tom Cruise can be as batshit crazy as he wants, do whatever the fuck he wants, and it will be successful. I don't know. Maybe this whole Scientology thing is a real thing, and it's just whatever goofy ass alien that's in charge is bestowing.
1989, or not 89, 88. We didn't know what Scientology was.
No, I don't even think he was involved with the church at that point in time. But he did. You're absolutely right there, Kirk. Before when you said, you know, he's got the golden touch. It doesn't matter what he gets involved with. I mean, Cocktail, if it had any other male lead, probably would have flopped.
At that point in time, yes. Because
I think it would have.
About a bartender who was just saying, like, how do I make that?
Yeah, 100%. And
It
it
was a
wouldn't have
shit
been
film.
a
It
great
was a
movie,
shit
but it
film.
was a Tom Cruise vehicle, and so it
Right.
excelled. I mean, do you really want to watch a movie about, an unknown jet pilot?
It was jets.
Yeah. I like booze more than I like jets.
Jet.
When you're a jet all the way.
No. No. That's not what I just did.
I know you were going with something else, but I had to bring the musicals into it.
No.
We'll torture you at any given opportunity about that.
No, fair enough. I do look back at this as the power of that film, the power of Tom Cruise. Yet, this song still endures. I went to a bar not that long ago, and I said, "This is what I'm going to talk about." That, and they said, "Oh, is this during the Pet Sound era?"
No.
Oof. Exactly right. So let's go to that. Let's go to that. So we got. If you look at this particular song and people who hate it, why do they hate it? And I think we know why. Because
Brian Wilson wasn't involved.
Pardon me?
I think it's because it doesn't sound like the Beach Boys. It doesn't sound like Brian Wilson's Beach Boys.
Okay, yes. It does sound like the Beach Boys, but it doesn't sound like the Brian Wilson's Beach Boys.
Exactly that. It was different and weird, and they didn't like it. The purists.
Right.
Apparently, yeah. Brian Wilson actually did quite like it, though. He heard it for the first time on the radio, didn't know anything about it, didn't even realize it was the Beach Boys, but quite liked it.
Really? Yeah. Okay, I missed that.
It's remarkable just how much of a fingerprint that Brian Wilson had on the entire band, which you can sort of understand that the other guys were eclipsed by Brian, and Mike Love would have felt like he was standing in Brian's shadow.
Which he was.
Absolutely.
And this is sort of like why I think where I as I look back, it's like, okay, this song is apparently, to a lot of people, one of the worst songs ever. To music critics saying that, are they saying that because they hate Mike Love?
I think so.
That's what I think. Because
I think it's a lot more hatred towards Mike Love than it is actual hatred towards the song.
Well, the song itself is completely inoffensive. It's one of those songs that name things off, like Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire." They just wind up naming off a whole bunch
times, Andrea.
They wind up naming off a bunch of Caribbean places. They've got this made-up joint called Kokomo, which spawned many more Kokomos that came up after this. As a matter of fact, one that was opened in the Florida Keys. And there was like one in like Idaho or something like that. It's just all kind of like, there was two Kokomos that existed in the middle America, but not
Illinois, I believe.
Illinois, that's the one there. And there was one, I can't remember now, but anyway, there was another one that was somewhere outside the country, outside the US. But this is, this song is released. It does nothing. Cocktail comes out, it explodes.
No, they wrote it specifically for the movie.
Yes, but it was released previous to the movie and got next to no traction.
Which had this not been part of the Tom Cruise Cocktail soundtrack. Exactly
that. Tom Cruise, with his mystical aura, propelled this thing to number one.
So this was actually written by John Phillips.
Yeah.
So, and if you heard his version of it, it was terrible. Like,
I want to have sex with my daughter.
We've already been over the whole John Phillips incest thing. And then it was what? Yeah, when we talked about Wilson Phillips, didn't we talk about the incest thing?
Okay. Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to fuck my daughter. Uba. No.
No.
Can't all be gems, right?
Fuck off. Anyway.
So written, and then there's all sorts of weird associations around this, because it's like Doris Day's son that worked with the Beach Boys to rewrite this, but then there's also a link to Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Like there's so many famous and fucked up people involved in all of this that basically, yeah, they took they took a really shitty John Phillips song and turned it into something interesting by changing almost everything about it, including the tense, because it was originally in a past tense.
Right.
Yeah, I read about that.
But at that
changing
time,
it.
when you're looking at that, okay, it's 88, 89 in this weird little place where, okay, economy is good. So if the economy is good, it's like, hey, maybe I can go to Aruba.
Or Jamaica.
Ooh, I want to take you.
Yeah, but no, but dead serious, right? So like you could do these things and it wasn't all that
extravagant.
right.
Like, yeah. Yeah, in the 80s, tropical vacations were a thing, and they were also a thing that people aspired to. Like, it wouldn't have been cheap even then, but it wasn't like
no, of course
luxury
not.
travel.
But
it was something the average middle class American could do.
Hey, the Beach Boys, they're on the beach. Hey, I get that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that they got resurrected and part of them came back from the dead in the 80s. Because the Beach Boys, yes, they were doing the tour circuit and what have you on the B-list stages and stuff like that, but they hadn't had a hit, in almost 2 decades.
Over 2 decades, wasn't it?
Over 2 decades.
Yeah, because this was 88. No, it was 68. This was 80. I thought this was 86. Was it 88?
I think it was 88.
Then it was
doesn't matter.
Whatever. And
hang on. Yeah, 88.
We'll say 2 decades.
Yeah.
What was I going to say to that?
They hadn't had a hit.
Oh no! So then they released another album, basically around just trying to capitalize on the success of this song,
and it's all
it failed miserably.
Yeah,
which is all around like Mike Love saying like, I really like the women.
He just has creepy uncle vibes.
He really does. I couldn't put my finger on it, but now that you mentioned creepy uncle, spot on.
Which, Brad, he's younger than we are at that point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And he's still the uncle you don't invite to parties.
Well, I don't think Mike Love would have been someone we wanted to invite to a party anyway, at any point in time. He's like a bit of like an Eddie Vedder. I don't want to hang out with him either.
Mm-hmm.
I will go see like Mike Love.
Or like Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, I don't want, but it's like, oh, okay, like Andrew, you and I have talked about that in the before Brad times.
There was that time?
There was those times where we would say like, okay, so like, yeah, we don't want.
Yeah, this person might be fascinating, but I wouldn't hang out with you at a party.
Saying that, I honestly feel that Mike Love had, how do I put this? He was screwed over in some way in terms of his legacy.
Absolutely. He wasn't given credit where I think a lot of credit was due.
Yeah. I don't blame him for having this big giant chip on his shoulder.
The only problem is though, he has the swagger of a German Shepherd and the charisma of a Chihuahua.
Pug.
Pug, even better. You know, he's got this hyper inflated idea of himself, and he thinks that everybody else around him should also have that idea of him. Now, if he was beaking off at the award ceremony like that, and he was Blur, you know, it would be understandable. You know, if he was going off like that, saying, "Ah, we're bigger than the Beatles," kind of thing, because there it was. I don't know. It was almost a hyperbole from Blur doing that, but he was a has-been at that point, or he was just becoming a has-been as they were inducted, and yet he's still walking around like he's all that.
It was the same year.
When they were inducted was when Kokomo was happening.
1988, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you
and
think
what?
like he had this like inflated ego because like the Stone, because he was shitting on the Stones who
Mhm.
2 years
And what happened
prior-
after Kokomo? Nothing. They fell flat. He's now touring with the Beach Boys, who is just Mike Love and some other guys.
To be fair, pretty much everybody else is dead.
Well, there's that.
Paul Stamos is dead.
Is that pretty much?
Okay,
I don't know if
yeah,
John
yeah.
Stamos needs to get up and pretend to play the
You would do
bongos again.
Stamos.
What?
You would do Stamos.
Eh,
What? Come on.
Hell,
I
I'd
don't know, he's
consider
hot,
it.
but that he's a little too pretty.
All you have to do is like Andrea.
Got the
No.
bongos on. Oh yeah.
No.
This won't work for anyone listening audio, but anyway.
Got the bongos going on. I mean, that's a sexy wife beater he's got on as he's hitting those
And his
skins.
hair is all flailing around. Yeah.
Florida Keys.
Yeah. Oh, he's playing it up 100%.
Oh yeah, and not really hitting the rhythm either.
No, far missing it. So this song though,
It didn't hurt that for that to become number one, but yeah, go on, Andrea.
I was just gonna say this song is like what a middle-aged white dude thinks that Caribbean music is.
And he also thinks that pepper is too spicy.
Yes. Yeah. This is the person that thinks that that his green pepper is too spicy.
Whew, that's whew.
Oh, that's a spicy meatball. But yeah,
Stag
there's
chili
something,
is pretty intense.
okay, but there's something to that, but not just does it have to be a Caribbean white guy? Let's just be blunt. A lot of you white women were all over this shit then.
Oh, 100%.
There
But,
you go.
The video was aimed at a certain demographic, I think, based on the
Uncle
amount
Jesse's
of
women.
yeah, based on the amount of TNA that was sitting in the front row in bikinis.
Yeah, but no, Andrea had to go all virtue signaling on us, didn't she?
Why? Because I called out you middle-aged white dudes.
Yes.
No, there was that.
Kirk, you, I
hardcore.
think, would know what Caribbean music actually sounds like, though, because you lived there.
I did live in the Florida Keys on the place called Kokomo.
No, you lived in the Bahamas.
I lived
Wasn't
in
it
Barbados.
Bermuda?
It was not Bermuda. It was
Oh.
Bahama.
I
Oh,
lived
it
in
was the next one.
Barbados.
Oh, it was Barbados.
I lived in
Oh,
Barbados
wow.
where none of this actually. Yes.
Yeah, Barbados isn't actually listed in this song, is it?
No, it's not.
It is not.
Oh.
It is not.
Also, Bermuda's not really in the Caribbean, so.
No, that's true. But
Well,
okay,
the Florida
let's-
Keys aren't
let's
really
go
in the
back though.
Caribbean.
I don't hate this song.
No, it's not terrible.
No, but I get why people do, and a lot of it is because they hate Mike Love.
Yeah.
Especially because of or I'll just put this in my thing. As a sort of like a music snob, I can see why the generation before me wanted to just dump all over this, because it's like Brian Wilson, Mike Love, and I get that. I totally get that. And
It's
Mike
like
Love,
people who say that Van Halen existed when Diamond David Lee Roth left.
yeah, no, and you're not wrong. you're not wrong. And I think that there's when I see like, okay, well, this is like the worst song of the 80s. Like, really? This is the worst song of the 80s?
Not even close.
No, this is sort of like a cute song that sort of like had a Caribbean like flavor based on a very successful 60s band that made it work.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
okay, do I like Mike Love? Do I want to go hang out with Mike Love? Fuck no.
Okay, so do you guys think that this song would have gone as high as it did if it wasn't for the power of Tom Cruise?
No.
Definitely not. We'd
No, I
already
don't think so either.
said that.
Because I mean, like I said, the Fat Boys did the whole Wipeout thing with the Beach Boys,
Yeah.
and that got them, into the zeitgeist again a little bit.
The thing is, I don't think the Beach Boys were ever out of the zeitgeist. Like, I don't think that remix or remake of
German Checker and the Fat Boys. That one?
I don't think that necessarily, like, the Beach Boys are iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Their songs will be
So
recognized forever. So I don't necessarily think that it took anything that was like a subpar remix to bring them back into awareness. I don't think anybody would have necessarily listened to this song if it weren't for
Tom Cruise.
Cocktail and Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Because that movie
If you went to
blows.
see them, but it was pretty beloved at the time. It's a shitty
Right,
movie,
because it
but
was
people
Tom
liked it.
fucking Cruise.
Exactly.
Yeah, anybody else in the movie wouldn't have had the box office that it did.
It's like, how do I make this? How do I make this whiskey and Coke?
And they should have had Nick Cage doing it, because he would have nailed your version of it straight away.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well done. I don't know what the hell I was doing there, but yeah. Well said. But
So it's the Beach Boys aren't going anywhere, and not for a long time. When you've got a record like Pet Sounds in your discography, that you'll be known for time immemorial.
Right, but that album is sort of like also why everyone sort of shits on this song.
Yeah, because look at the mastery that was involved in that.
Right, and also too, because like Mike Love also sued Brian Wilson and others involved, and I honestly believe, and again, I wasn't there.
What? You weren't there?
I wasn't there, but
Weird.
No, you can't blame the guy for having a grudge, but you can blame the guy for being a douche canoe.
Sure, you can believe. Yes, you can blame him for being a douche canoe. Saying that, would the Beach Boys have been would they have been that without Mike Love sort of like saying like, hey, let's party?
No, the Beach Boys were the Beach Boys, and taking any of those pieces out of the whole makes it less than, regardless of who that is. Because the Beach Boys as a group were successful because of the group dynamic.
I don't blame him for having this chip on his shoulder, but I also sort of blame him for saying like, I'm Mike Love, and yeah, I'm a ladies' man.
Well, I mean, okay, the guy was, and there's no question that he had probably not as many panties thrown at him, but bikini bottoms definitely, but not quite as many as, let's say, Tom Jones
or me
or you. Yeah, exactly. If you had a dollar,
hey, Andrea, I'm gonna blur that out there, by the way.
If you had a dollar, Kirk, for every pair of panties that had been thrown at you,
I'd have two.
I was going to say you'd have bus fare.
Yeah, again, because you're so much better looking than me. But anyway, go on.
No, I'm not saying that. Trust me, I'm not. If anybody's watching, no, you can know. Anyway, so the idea is, though, I mean, he let it go to his head, and then he had no humility about it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
by walking around and saying I'm a lady, he probably was. There was probably a bevy of little surfer girls waiting to go on a surfing safari with him at the end of every concert.
I think also too, the fact that Mike is anyway, very right wing, which
He tried to distance himself from that as well a little
No,
bit.
he was going to Trump rallies.
Yeah, but he had said, oh, it doesn't mean, like, I've known him for a long time. It doesn't mean I believe everything he says and all this other stuff.
I don't know. He was touring all through COVID. He was at Trump rallies, a Trump supporter.
I just want to see somebody take his baseball cap off.
He's probably totally bald.
Oh, he's probably got the big ring going on.
I
Yeah,
got all my hair.
Yeah. I have all of my hair that I have left.
Oh yeah, you look great, buddy. No, but
yeah, I appreciate that, but you can't see from up here.
Oh, okay. No, but there is something to that. It's just like before he was 30, he had the flip over.
Oh yeah.
But I don't disagree with his hatred towards when people said like, hey, you did nothing. Like, hey, yes, I.
No, he was a
you
big
can
part
hate
of
the guy, but you can't disregard his contribution to the Beach Boys because
and I think there's a lot of I can't blame him for having this giant chip on his shoulder as much as I think he's an asshole.
He's arrogant, and that's what's off-putting about him. It really is his arrogance.
And I honestly think that this is why that when people say like this is one of the worst songs ever, they're saying this because it's not Brian Wilson's Beach Boys.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
His thumbprint isn't on it, and it shows.
That's all there is. Like, how did this get number one? Like, honestly, I don't know. I really yes, we do.
Tom Cruise.
But is this worth saying that this is one of the worst things ever? No,
there's plenty worse out there. Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips is one of them. Absolutely.
The tulips, and at some point next year when we're not doing number. Sorry.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
That was much better.
Yeah.
That was much better.
It's not, but it's just that's a creepy song, man. It gives me those weird, like, those bad shivers you get when somebody's sneaking up behind you.
We do after when we say we're not doing number ones, right? It has to be.
Yeah,
it has to be. Let's leave off here. Well, just a couple of things here. Okay, one thing I do hate about the song is that it let Mike Love to sort of say like, hey, I'm going to put out an album of this shit. And if you should listen to like Endless Summer or whatever it is, it's awful.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know if you can even find it right now. I don't think it's on any streaming services.
I found it on YouTube.
Oh, did you?
I did. And it's pretty bad. So it's one of those things also that's like, I like girls. And he's actually, the thing about too with Mike Love at that point is that this is what makes me feel so old because he's younger than I am right now.
At the time.
Yeah, at the time.
Because I think right now you're still younger than Mike Love. Well, I don't think you've caught up yet.
You're a fucking
yeah, I that's why you brought me in here, Kirk, is to keep your ego in check so you don't go all Mike Love on us.
Oh, because you're the Brian Wilson of this group?
I'm really good at lying in bed. And I've done some drugs.
Okay, you're the drummer.
Like Uncle Jesse, right?
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going here. Andrea, please help.
So why don't we move on and talk about what we're doing next week?
Moving right along.
Okay, well, yeah, moving right along. I don't know what we're doing next week, but I can tell you what I have done. So, hey, Andrea, Brad, I wrote a book.
Kirk, you did not. Wait, we have to pick the next song.
No, this was my song.
I know. My turn to pick a song.
Yes. Remember, it's your turn to pick a song.
Ain't good enough.
That's
That's
pretty good,
Kermit.
yeah.
Thank you.
I even put some effort into this one to find one that had.
I'm not done plugging.
I thought
We
we plugged
plug
after.
after.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Fine.
Kirk, do you need a hug?
Honey,
Do you smell toast?
doctor, do you smell toast? You smell toast? No. Okay, no, there's no toast. And my wife is ignoring me completely, apparently. But anyway, yeah, go on.
So I picked one, if you don't mind. That actually was a weird little sort of kind of diamond in the rough. It was an unusual one that was surrounded by a bunch of other schlock, I guess. Owl City Fireflies.
Okay. All right. No, that's actually that's been on my radar, so that's a good one.
No, well, I didn't mean to steal your thunder on that one.
No,
That, and I don't want to be yelled at again.
No, because it went #1. We're only yelling at you when you. But anyway.
You know, I mean, how often does that happen? Like 50% of the time now?
As well, the percentage is going lower, but yeah.
It is, because I'm getting better at this whole thing with the reading and the comprehending.
Yeah. No, that's actually an interesting one. It's actually relatively current, and if I can figure out how that went #1.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense based on the other stuff around it.
Yeah, there's no
Mhm.
rap.
Yeah, a bit of an anomaly.
So I thought that might be kind of fun to dive into a little bit.
I don't know.
But Kirk, I understand that you wrote a book.
Chavo Guerrero Instant Classic. Chavo Guerrero, he passed away, and we've looked at his autobiography, Chavo Guerrero Sr. So that is on Instant Classic, and that's on Amazon. Also, too, this is going to be a busy week for me. Very, very, very busy week. Finally, we're going to get to some of the other stuff that I've been wanting to do. So yes. Evan Nolan is back from vacation from Wisconsin.
Welcome back, Evan.
Yes, from Wisconsin. And he's going to help me with a weekly Hall of Fame show. But the classic sports review that I've been trying to get going for the last 2 months is now back.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
I hate you both. Anyway, so tomorrow night we are looking at
RBC, my advisor.
Sorry, my phone just made noise.
I can't edit shit because I can't be bothered. God damn it, woman.
So tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night,
we're looking at when the Colorado Avalanche went up against the Detroit Red Wings in what has become the bloodbath in 1996. You remember, or 97. You remember where you are, Brad?
In 1997?
Yes.
Oh, stoned somewhere probably.
Well, so it might be my guest, because I've had someone who works for Bleacher Report for the Colorado Avalanche, and he's going to be with me. He's also wrote a book. Is it more successful than mine? Probably. Yeah, probably. But anyway, so like he's going to be part of that, and he's going to help me look at that big bloodbath game. Yes. Okay.
yay!
Oh, hurrah! Go Sports!
Jesus
Go
Christ! You
Sports
think
Bucks.
both of you would have known by now? Just go like, just go like do your little like. Yes, thank you. God damn it, you both suck. Anyway,
And the crowd goes mild.
yeah. And Chris Burnett is finally going to help me out with another show on the how the hell did this go? Why was this on national television? He's in Costa fucking Rica.
That's the full name of the country.
It could have been. It's Costa. It's Costa Rica, and it's awesome. Yeah. I didn't know that I was going to be doing this. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to be looking at the Harlem Globetrotters go to Gilligan's Island.
Ah, yes, you've been talking about being excited to do that one.
Well, and he's actually going to be doing this on Thursday morning with me, and he's in Costa Rica. And I said, like, dude, like, you got nothing else to do? Like, all right, like, fine.
Nice. So long as he sets you up with a good view, that's all that you need.
Yeah, exactly. I think he must be sort of inspired in Costa Rica. Must be
Thinking about Gilligan's
maybe
Island.
Gilligan down there. I don't know.
Maybe he's had a 3-hour tour.
3-hour tour.
One of us had to do it.
Yes, exactly. So that's what's going on, and wherever you are, wherever you may be. Come on, one of them.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Stay
Sayonara.
safe. Stay safe, everybody.
Goodbye from the Buchnerverse.
The Buck.